So the winner of our first place for American, please welcome Ben Goldberg.
I want to first thank the Susanville Symphony and Mr. Wade for being remarkable hosts. I've really enjoyed being here, and I'm really thankful to be here. And I just want to mention one other thing before I talk about deception, and say how wonderful it is that they held this competition. Because we don't want, or at least as a composer, I don't want our symphonies and our concerts to turn into museums where we only listen to music of dead composers. We should listen to music and premiere music and encourage our symphonies to live and breathe new music and new art and culture. So, you're going to hear my piece, Deception, which is very different than anything you've heard here so far. When I thought about composing the piece, I wanted to create something that highlighted some of the exciting, remarkable sounds and techniques that are available for today's modern orchestra. Now, some of the techniques that you're going to hear, and sounds you're going to hear, you never hear in a Beethoven piece or a Rachmaninoff piece, simply because those techniques just didn't exist in their musical vocabulary at their time. But they're very common in our time. And I'm excited to share them with you, and I hope that you are as excited about them as I am. So the piece starts, I want to tell you a little bit about how the piece is built, because I think that'll help us communicate and connect as composer and audience. The music begins with this intense, slow glissando. It's a bending note. It sounds like something's whooshing by very fast. Almost like a Doppler effect. You hear that 4 times, and then you'll hear an expressive theme played by the cello. Now, those 2 themes are the foundation of the work. So if you can latch onto those, I think you can really follow and connect with the piece. Because although it is modern and it does have some interesting sounds, it is melodic and does have things I think that you'll enjoy. From there on, these themes are developed and new themes are added and added and added, and it just kind of keeps building up to this rhythmic frenzy. And finally, in the conclusion, it calms down, and that cello theme that we heard in the beginning of the piece, you'll now hear in the oboe, and that intense slow glissando seems like a whisper of its former self as we hear it in the violins as harmonics. So, I hope you enjoy Deception, and I just also want to say that I'm around all weekend, and if you want to talk about music, you want to talk about the piece, if you have any questions at all, about anything you hear, I'd love to meet you and talk about it. Thank you.
is like what killed Candlestick holder.